and welcome back to Lilly Loves Tarot. I do appreciate you. Welcome back to the channel. Today on Lily's Daily Love Messages, I am going to talk about a theme. And this theme that I am going to talk about is one of Lily's gems. It is a theme that I am pulling in tarot readings, and I'm going to discuss it because it keeps showing up over and over again. And I want to talk about specifically the fact that this is a red flag. Okay. And some of you may be picking up on it from the very beginning, and some of you may not. So I want to delve in today and I want to talk about it. I want to mention it briefly because I do feel that it is something that needs to be addressed. So, my lovelies, let's delve in. Let's get straight into it. Why? Because I have some time today. The ex. When the ex really isn't an ex, let's talk about it. In a lot of readings that I do, third-party energies will come up. And usually they're coming up because they are attached, okay, to one party in the reading. Now, third-party energy interferences could be a parent, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, but it could also more than likely be an ex-lover from a past relationship. And I want to talk about the dynamics really quickly because these are red flags, and I want a lot of people to understand that a lot of this happens in the beginning stages of a connection, but it goes unchecked because of how the third party is presented. Now, sometimes the third party, the ex, it's a complete secret. All right. And you have no idea that this person is there. But there are other times when this person does show up in the reading at the beginning. And I'm going to give you some examples of how a lot of times this can happen. And for those of you, you may not be scoping this. And it's really because a lot of people take it as though, we all have a past. People have been divorced or people have had other relationships, and who am I to judge? If the person's mentioning it, they're being upfront, they're being transparent. But are they really? Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. Yes, people have a past. They're people who have been divorced, they've been married, they have cohabitated with in a relationship. But who is this person really? And how are they being presented to you? And are they being presented to you in truth? So I want to give an example because a lot of times the triangulation in the deception happens at the very beginning, but a lot of people don't catch it. And they don't catch it because they're giving the person the benefit of the doubt, and they're not recognizing that this person is going to be a part of your relationship. This is when the other party is introducing them in the very beginning. And let me tell you how slick with the trick it can happen. I actually was talking to a lady I did a reading for, and she was reflecting. She and the person were not together simply because of this particular X factor. And she found out the person was not an ex, that they were still in a relationship, but she didn't find out till later. Okay. So it started in a lie and it ended in a lie. But she went on to say to me, she said, you know what? This person was introduced at the very beginning, but they were introduced as a former partner. They were introduced as somebody who was just a friend. That was it. So she didn't think anything of it. Okay. Because she didn't feel insecure. She said the person didn't give her any reason to be concerned. She felt that the person was being transparent. There it is, right there. When you are in the getting to know stage and you are gathering information, they're gathering information about you, you're gathering information about them, and they are bringing up a past lover that they are still invested in. And you got to be careful here. So this means that they're bringing this person into the equation. They may say something like, well, we're still very friendly. We still talk. You know, I go to their house. I do, some chores for them every now and then. That's an investment. It's an investment. You call it whatever you want. They're invested. And there's a connection there. Now, they've introduced this person in conversation. And they're letting you know that this person means something to them. And they're also letting you know that they're going to be spending time with this person. On the phone, in person, whatever. So you need to check that right away. Now, she also said that she thought the person was being transparent. She didn't think anything of it. But as the relationship went on, her significant other would periodically mention this individual. So my question was, did you meet this person? I mean, if this person is taking up space and time with your significant other, have you met them? Did you all go out to dinner together? Was there an introduction? And you know what she said? She said, no. I never met the person. And I always wondered why. Because if it was so innocent and there was nothing to hide, why were we never introduced? Let me tell you why you were never introduced. I have seen situations where it can be very innocent. It can be. And exes can get together with their new partner, new marriage. They all come together. The ex has remarried. They can all have dinner together. No problem. Because everything is transparent. Everybody's met each other. There's nothing going on. But that's usually not the case. What's usually happening is the door is still cracked. And what usually is transpiring, and this is the deception part, and it's very unfortunate that this happens more often, is that the other party is still trying to get back with the ex. And they are using their new relationship to make this person jealous. And you have no idea that that is what's going on. You have no idea that you are being a pawn in their game. And for a lot of people, they don't realize it until things start falling apart. For some people, they realize that the ex is really more than a friend, that the person they are with is emotionally tied to this person. Now, they didn't know that because they'll tell you, I would have never gotten involved with them. So you got to be careful when someone is in the beginning stages or triangulating you with an ex-lover and telling you that they are still friends. Now, some people will just flat out lie, and they're keeping this person as a secret, and you don't know. And you have no idea that you have entered into a triangulated third party situation. But the cracks will tell on themselves. And for a lot of people, they don't find out until the breakup. Because what ends up happening is once the assignment has been accomplished, and what that means is once they use you to make the person jealous, and if it works, they're going to discard you and dismiss you immediately. Because they were juggling you from the beginning. It started in a lie and it ended in a lie. And once the assignment is accomplished, once they get this person back, you're ghosted. You have no idea what happened. They changed their phone number. They could block you on social media. They disappear. A lot of people find out that they moved on with the so-called ex. Why? Because the ex was never an ex in the first place. They were always there. They were always in play. It was never over. So they lied to you. They betrayed you. They used your kindness as a weakness. They unarmed your defenses by appearing to present this person to you and being quote unquote transparent when it was nothing but a lie. So all I'm saying is when you are getting to know someone and they are throwing somebody in your face, telling you, no, we're just friends. There's nothing going on. There's nothing for you to worry about. You need to meet them. And I'm telling you, if your gut is telling you, is screaming at you, and it's telling you that something's not right, it isn't. Go with your intuition. Go with your instinct. Because sometimes in these situations with this deception, this triangulation, it doesn't happen in the fourth inning. It happens in the first round. So pay attention when somebody is introducing in conversation an ex-lover that they are still doing things for, talking to, giving attention to, giving time to, you need to check that. Use your spirit of discernment, because it is a red flag. Again, I'm not stating that exes cannot be friends, but only when there is transparency and there is honesty, not when the person is being deceptive about it, not when they're still in love with this person and is using you to get this person back. There's nothing loyal, there's nothing honest about that. So you're going to have to find out which one it is. So I just want to touch base on that because it does show up in tarot readings. It's real life stuff. It happens every day. And always look deep before you leap. So, my lovelies, please pay attention. Please be aware of the tricks that are being played out here in the dating and romance world, because you do not want to be an option. You should always be a priority, because if you are not a priority, you will be a placeholder, and they will keep you in that position until they get what they truly want. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Lily's Gems today. I do appreciate you. Always blessings to you. And until next time, take care. It happens.